going to move to begin class, so please find a comfortable seated position near the front of your mat. Maybe you're crisscross applesauce, or maybe you're seated on your shins, whatever is preferred. We're going to move into a moment of stillness before we start today's flow, getting back in touch with our sensory experiences. So I'm going to have you bring your eyes to close, your hands to rest on your upper thighs. You can go palms facing down if you're looking for a little bit more groundedness or connection to your own body today. Or you can flip them up towards the sky in a position of receiving if you feel like you need a little bit more creativity, innovation, a fresh idea or perspective. Take slow, deep sips of air in through your nose, down into the low reaches of your belly. And exhale nice and slow out through the mouth for these first couple of breaths. Slow inhale in, big sigh out the mouth. Let your shoulders drop as you breathe. Couple more times. Fill that breath, fill your entire belly 360 degrees, holding at the top and then slowly exhaling back out through the nose or mouth. And as you start to move energy both in and out of the body, you can start to find a more natural rhythm to your breath, a cadence that feels good for you. Continuing to engage your diaphragm by imagining that belly like a big balloon you're trying to fill with as much air as possible. That oxygen pushes on every wall, moving forward to your side body and even into your low back, holding at the top of the breath. And when you're ready to exhale, seal the lips. And let that breath back out through the nose, keeping a little constriction through the back of your throat. You should be able to hear yourself both inhale and exhale. Check in with that space between your eyebrows. Try to soften the muscles of the face. Release all of the tension that's accumulated there. And if it feels good to bring any amount of sway or stretch into this first part of class, if there's some excess energy you need to move out, I always want classmates to feel free to move and flow in ways that feel good. Make this practice your own. We're going to be focusing on the shoulders, on the hips and hamstrings today. So a little bit of everything, a full body release. When you're ready, I invite you to take your hands out to the sides of the room, palms facing up, and then lift them up over your head. Bring the palms together, and as you exhale, draw them down to your heart. Pressing out through your elbows, your shoulder blades come together. Bow your chin to your chest. And as you take a few more deep sips of air in and out, set an intention for today. We've moved through almost an entire Monday at this point, and depending on how it went for you, the energy that you want to embody might be different. So set your sights on an energy, an emotion, something that you want to manifest moving towards the end of today and the rest of the week. Pull that intention into your heart center, and your job throughout class is to continue to water this energetic seed. Every movement, breath, every moment is dedicated to embodying this energy. With your next inhale, go ahead and lift your hands up over your head. You can open your eyes and go ahead and part the hands about shoulder width apart, plugging your shoulders down. And then all you're going to do is you're going to take that right hand and bring it back between your shoulder blades as you grab your opposite elbow and sit up nice and tall. Make sure your sit bones are connected into the mat. We're stretching out the back of this arm, practicing keeping the shoulders pressed down, not creating any tension. As they creep up into the ears, keep them pressed. Breathing. And then all we're going to do is we're going to open those arms up into a T, and we're going to move into a twist. So that right hand comes to the left knee, look over that back shoulder. Once again, keeping your sit bones grounded and sitting up nice and tall. Deep breaths in, slow exhales out. Every opportunity in this pose is a chance to relax into the twist. It's not about pulling it open. It's about allowing the back to relax, to get a little bit deeper in. Tell your body you are safe. That tension is just a sign to relax a little bit deeper. Slowly, we're going to pull the arms back to center and then up over the head. And we're going to go ahead and switch sides. So now the left hand comes down between the shoulder blades. Grab the opposite elbow, sit up nice and tall. Big stretch on the opposite side. Sit bones, stay connected to the earth. Press your shoulders down away from your ears. There shouldn't be any tension in your neck. Slow sips of air in. And relax on your exhale. We're going to open up now, arms out to the sides, and then we're going to take that twist on the other side. So right hand back behind us, wringing out the tension in the spine, sitting up nice and tall, trying to gaze over that back shoulder. Letting the spine relax. Maybe let a little smile creep to the corners of your mouth as you close your eyes and soften the muscles of the face. We're going to twist back center as we lift the arms back above the head. Hands come together, exhale them down to the heart and down to the sides. We're going to do a little bit of work with our hips here. So all we're going to do is we're going to take that left foot about parallel with the mat in front of us, and then your opposite foot comes back inside. So you should feel a little bit of a stretch on the outside of your hip flexor. From here, trying to keep your sit bones grounded. You can spider rub the fingers and start to gently walk them forward. This might be enough for you. You can stay right here if this is enough. But we're putting a little bit of a stretch on the outside of this hip flexor. You can melt forward. Just try not to compromise the back. It's always about kind of surrendering your heart forward, which is going to protect you from rolling and compromising the stretch. to reach a little bit more depth with time. Remember, it's about relaxing into each pose. Slowly walk your hands back towards your torso. And we're going to switch our lead. So we're going to go ahead and lift that knee up. We're going to put that right foot out in front of us, again, about parallel. And then the opposite foot comes in towards the body. It shouldn't be underneath of us. It should be right out here. And then all we're going to do is take the hands down. This time the stretch should be on the outside of that right leg. And just start to surrender the heart. Slow, deep sips of air in through the nose and out the nose, relaxing the body. And slowly walk your hands back towards your torso. We're going to roll up over the knees now, coming into an all fours position. Hands beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips. And just finding a little bit of fluid motion through the body here before we begin our cat-cow sequence. So feel into both the neck, the spine, the hips. Where is there tension? What needs your extra support today? And then we're going to move through a self-guided round of cat-cow, taking a deep breath in through the nose, shining the heart forward, pressing the hands down, deep breath in. Exhale, we round through the spine, tucking the tailbone underneath of us as the head and neck relax. And then, as you inhale, scoop the belly down, heart and tailbone rise as one. Exhale. Cat. Inhale. Cow. Go ahead and take a few more rounds to the beat of your own breath. One breath per movement. Paying attention to that contraction, the full inhale and exhale. Go ahead and find neutral. Again, shining the heart forward, this time pulling your belly button slightly up into your spine to engage the core. And what we're going to do from here is we're going to shoot that right foot back behind us, creating a lot of length through the leg, making sure that the hip is squared down, and we have even weight in your hands. You can stay here if this is enough to challenge your balance, or you can shoot that opposite arm out in front of you. Holding here for 3, 2, 1. Deep inhale in. And as you exhale, you're going to connect knee to elbow, contracting the spine, and then lift out. Exhale, contract. Inhale, extend. One more time. Exhale, contract. And then extend, holding once again for 3, 2, 1. Release. And settle your glutes onto your heels as you reach your fingertips forward. Release the forehead. And then slowly curl all the way up to all fours again. Resetting your position. Find stability, belly button into spine. Pressing down through the hands, heart shines forward. And this time we're going to shoot that left foot back. Square the hip down. So your pinky toe should be rotated down. You don't want to open. Check in. Your glutes should be engaged. Even weight in the hands. And if you'd like to add on, shoot that opposite hand out in front of you. You should feel stability through your core, creating a nice long line. And we're going to start that contraction. Deep inhale in. Exhale, knee in to elbow. Inhale, create length. Exhale, contract. Inhale, lift. Last time, exhale, contract. Inhale, hold, parallel with the ground for 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and set down. This time, move your knees to the wide edges of the mat, the big toes together, as you sink down into child's pose. Reach your fingertips forward towards the front of the room. You should feel a deep stretch in your armpits. Relax your forehead down, maybe give it a little rock back and forth. Continuing to take deep sips of air. If you can't connect your tailbone and heels, that's okay. Just keep the intention. All it means is that you have tighter hips. We're working on that today. Deep inhale in through the nose. And as you exhale, walk your fingertips over to the right side of the room. Maybe you take your left hand and place it over the right to deepen the stretch. Keeping tailbone and heels connected or moving towards each other. Again, you don't want to open up. You're breathing into your side body, making it very long. And focusing on relaxing it on your exhale. Slowly inhale, walk the fingertips to center. And exhale over to the left. Same thing, you can place the right hand over the left if that feels good for you. To deepen the stretch through your side body. Inhale as you walk back to center. One last big stretch forward. And then slowly you're going to walk your hands back towards your torso and set your shins hip width apart. Coming back into that all fours position. Make sure that there's nothing in your way. At this point, I'm going to move my blocks. We should be in that quadruped position, 90-degree angle between the heels, the pits of the knees, and the glutes. From here, we're going to slowly walk the hands out in front of us, keeping that 90-degree angle as we bow the heart down towards the mat. Big stretch through the shoulders. Release your forehead down to the mat. This is called puppy pose. When you're ready, keep your forearms exactly where they are. And begin to shift your hips forward until they meet the mat. Release one leg at a time, lifting up through the crown of your head for Sphinx. And then we're just going to slowly surrender. Hands come beneath the shoulders. And we're going to press up and then release down. It's okay if you can't fully straighten your arms. We're going to do that a few more times, creating a little bit of a mobility through that low back. If you've been through PT at SEL, you know these. The infamous press-ups. 2 more. Trying to move with your breath. Maybe you're getting a little bit more length here. And then go ahead and release. Hands are beneath the shoulders, and if you can do this in one fell swoop, please do. But to modify, you can pull the knees in towards each other. Okay, and we're going to press all the way up into a plank, keeping the shins down. So we're here. Flip the toes, and then we're going to lift the tailbone and separate the feet hip-width apart for downward facing dog. The idea is we're making a upside down V with the body. Wide fingertips. You can pedal out your down dog if that feels good, releasing one knee into a deep bend as the opposite heel descends towards the mat. Moving with your breath. And then when you're ready, find stillness. Soft bend in the knees, feet hip width apart. Surrendering the heels towards the mat, though it doesn't matter if you get them flat. They're just kind of weighted down with gravity. Deep breath in through the nose. And as you exhale, walk your hands back towards your feet and release into ragdoll, grabbing opposite elbows. If you need to separate the feet a little bit more for a wider base of support, heel toe them out a bit. But you're lifting out in front of you and then surrendering the belly to the tops of the thighs. Head, neck, and shoulders fully relax. Maybe even bring a little sway to that front body. Counterbalance weight from your heels and all this area that's hanging forward. Surrender. Find stillness. And then slowly release the fingertips down. Inhale, drag those fingertips up your shins. Heart reaches out in front of you, halfway lift. And then exhale, release, forward fold. Soften your knees. Inhale, circle sweep, leading with your heart. And exhale, hands to the heart center and then down to mountain. We're going to add a little bit of a shoulder rinse now. So we're going to take the hands back behind you, interlace the fingertips, and press your knuckles down towards the earth. Lift your chest. And we're going to start a slow descent. So pressing your weight back into your heels. You can even lift your toes if you need to. You're going to surrender your heart forward as you allow your arms to fall overhead, continuing to press through those knuckles. So the tension is going back, but at the same time, your heart is being surrendered forward. And you're allowing those shoulders to open up, fall over the head. If this is too much for your shoulders, you can just take opposite elbows. It's a great modifier for this. Slowly, keeping that tension through the knuckles, you're going to lift your heart out in front of you, parallel, and all the way up to top. Release the arms, float them in front of you, open them to mountain. Take a beat. Inhale, we're going to open all the way up. Hands come down to the heart, and you're going to take a big step forward with your left foot. feet on opposite tracks. Slowly press your heart forward, taking your glutes back, so you should feel a big stretch on the back of that left leg. Keep your hips square. Soften into the pose, making little adjustments to make sure that the hips are squared, the back is strong. Slowly lift the heart. And if you can, in one fell swoop, we're going to take a micro bend in that front knee and lift the opposite knee out in front of us, flexing the foot. Hold for 3, 2, 1. When you put it down, you're going to put it down on the opposite side of that other foot, so it should look like this. And then we're going to bow once more. Only a micro bend in the knees, keeping those feet as parallel towards each other as you can. You'll feel a big stretch move up your IT band on the outside of that behind facing leg. If instead of keeping prayer hands, if it feels better and more stable to take them to the tops of the thighs, that is always an option for you. Once again, surrendering in to this position. Are not in prayer, you can go ahead and bring them there. We're slowly going to hinge all the way up and take that foot coming back to hip width apart. Beautiful job. From there, we're going to take the left foot, step it back on the opposite track, and we're going to repeat that first pose. Slowly keeping the hips squared, feet on opposite tracks, surrendering the heart forward, big stretch on the back of that front leg. Remember, it's always an option to take the hands down to the thighs if that feels more stable, and leave it up to each individual. Every inhale is an opportunity to check on your alignment, making sure those hips are squared, toes pointing forward. Every exhale is an opportunity to sink a little bit deeper in this case, allowing your heart to shine forward while slowly collapsing down with a flat back, slowly closing this gap between the thigh and belly. Take the hands back to the heart if they're not there, and slowly begin to hinge up. We're going to take a soft bend in that front foot, and just like before, try to stabilize and lift that foot out in front of us. Flex the foot. Keep the hips as level as you can. You need to tap down, that's okay. And then go ahead and place it on the opposite side. We're going to move into that IT band, surrender. Same thing, if you'd like to take the hands down for support, please do. Breathe slowly. Aren't already at prayer, take them there now. We're slowly going to hinge up and then take the feet hip width apart. Inhale, lift your hands up above the head, and exhale, cascade over your thighs, soft bend in the knees. Inhale, halfway lift, heart reaches forward, nice flat back. And exhale, fold. Taking the hands down to the mat, we're going to step back to plank. You can release the shins if you'd like to modify here. Making sure you have a nice long line from the top of your head to the base of your knees. As you exhale, bend through the elbows and release your heart fully onto the mat. Release each leg. As you inhale, peel the heart away from the mat. Strengthen the back and core. Exhale, melt forward. Once again, inhale, peel up. Exhale, melt forward. Last one, inhale, peel up. Exhale, melt forward. Press back. Reset the hands beneath the shoulders. Flip the toes, hip width apart, and find downward facing dog. Your index finger should be pointing towards the front of the room. Release your heels with gravity. Soft bend in the knees. Beautiful job. Inhale, the left heel is going to reach up towards the sky. Then I'm going to have you point the toe and open the hip, releasing that heel to the opposite glute while keeping even weight in the hands. So you have an open hip position. And as you exhale, you're going to swing that knee forward between your hands into a low lunge. Release that back shin. Keeping the knee aligned right over the second or third toe, you're going to press that open hip forward, creating a nice long line. This is where blocks can come in handy if you need them. They just keep your back in a better position, so especially if you encounter back pain. We have really tight hips. Blocks are a great option for a modifier. We're focused right now on creating a lot of length through this back hip flexor. Opening up this area that keeps getting crowded. And then slowly, we're going to start to shift our weight back and flip those toes up, coming into a hamstring stretch. Hips squared, heart aimed at that big toe, and then surrendering. Slowly walk your weight forward. We're going to come back into a low lunge. So hands to frame the foot, back toes in, lift up. Holding here for a beat. And then we're going to go ahead and step all the way in, forward fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle sweep. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, hands lift up. Exhale, cascade over those thighs. Hands come down to the mat. Top or step back to plank. Release the shins. Exhale, elbows tight to the body. And inhale, baby cobra. 2 more times. Exhale, melt forward. Inhale, baby cobra. Barely any weight in the hands. Exhale, melt. Inhale. Exhale, melt forward. Press your weight back. Hands come back behind or underneath the shoulders. Press the toes in. Lift. Downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Release those heels. Lots of length in the body, this upside down V. And when you're ready, the right heel is going to lift, squared pinky toe down. And then you're going to point the toe, open the hip, and release that heel towards the opposite glute. Slowly, you're going to pull that knee forward between your hands into low lunge. Knee over the second and third toe. Pressing back through that back heel. And then releasing the tops of that shin. Use your blocks if you'd like. Reminder for how to adjust length. You can do it all the way up if that's what feels good. Side or all the way down, depending on what you need, where you're at today. Square your hips, press this hip forward to feel that stretch intensify. Just opening that up. Deep cleansing breath. And then slowly walk back, spider webbing the hands, lift that toe up, straight front leg, square hips. Heart aims at that big toe and slowly surrenders. If you need the blocks assistance, they're there for you. Slowly walk that foot flat in front of you. Use the blocks if you'd like. Take that back toe down, lift up low lunge. Pressing back through that heel, we're gonna hold for 3, 2, 1. Step all the way in, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Heart reaches forward, exhale, fold. Inhale, circle sweep, leading with the heart. Exhale, hands to heart center. I'm going to have everybody take a turn towards the side of the room. And you're going to take a big step out with your right foot. Both toes should be pointing forward. Okay, nice. Straight feet to the sides of the room. And all we're going to do is we're going to lift the hands up above the head, plugging the shoulders down, biceps into the ears, and slowly shift our hips back while reaching the fingertips forward and taking the heart parallel. You can take a look at the mirror if you'd like. You should have a nice flat back here. Exhale, slowly release those hands beneath your pelvis, elbows pointing back. And you're going to reach your heart forward and then exhale, slowly start to bend through those elbows. This is a wide-legged fold. Here, I want you to come onto those fingertips again, straighten the arms below you. You're going to take your left hand down, and you're going to reach your right fingertips up in a little twist here. Trying to open up through that spine, through that side body. Maybe take your gaze up to the top fingertips. And then exhale. Release down, switch sides. Right hand comes down flat, open up to a twist. Stack the shoulders, take your gaze up. Breathe deeply into the twist. And release down. Heart reaches forward on your inhale, exhale, fold. One last time. And then take your hands to your hips and begin to reach your heart out in front of you. Squeeze the glutes to come all the way up. From here, you're going to pivot your heels in, and you're going to sink down, toes move out over the toes. Now, take your pelvis and tuck it underneath of you, so you have a nice flat back. It's almost as if you were standing, right against a wall. You should be able to make contact with your head, upper back, and the base of your tailbone. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your inner thighs to come all the way up. Point the toes forward to the side of the room once again. Take a step all the way in. And we're going to turn towards me. Inhale, we lift the hands up above the head. And exhale, we swan dive down, bending through the knees. And releasing one shin at a time to come to lay on our backs. Heels go about 6 inches or so away from your glutes. And you're going to go ahead and release your back down. Shoulder blades flat. You can go ahead and windshield wiper the legs if that feels good. And then scooch the feet in towards each other. Bring the soles of the feet together and release your knees down and open. Try to relax here in this version of butterfly. Release your heels to the wide edges of your mat, flipping your palms up towards the sky for a quick moment of Shavasana. Deep breath in through your nose. And as you exhale, surrender your body to the mat below. Let it grow light and heavy all at once. Final moments just to breathe and to integrate your intention back into the rest of your evening and beyond. What did you learn from being present with tonight's flow? How can you take this energy back out into your day-to-day? Awaken your body. A little wiggle with your fingers or your toes. Maybe taking the big toes together, the arms above the head. One big stretch in opposite directions. And then you can roll to one side. Tuck walking your knees up towards your chest in the fetal position. Taking one final beat before you use your upper hand to press your torso up. This is the safest way to return to a seated position. Thank you all for joining me today. I appreciate this, being your instructor, here if you guys have any questions. But until then, we'll see you next time. Namaste, friends. Have a blessed Monday.